RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
You know, on top of that too, we have another card live on Golden Boy from DAZN. You know, in a fight that I also don't agree with. It's just one of those fights that probably shouldn't be. You know, with Jaime Munguia, who is a Mando to both Jamal Charlo and Andrade, facing someone who he shouldn't really be facing at this time. Really shouldn't be facing, with Gabriel Rosado. Pilot, so what are your actual thoughts on this particular fight? Pilot?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Come again?
What are your thoughts on the what are your thoughts on the fight between Munguia and Rosado?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hyped for this one. I really think it's gonna be a war for as long as it lasts. You know, Rosado's has been having a second win. He obviously should have got that win, at least a draw against Danny Jacobs. And ever since then, you know, he's kind of been back at it. I don't know. I like Munguia a lot. This is actually a good fight for Munguia. He's still relatively young. I feel like he should be fighting maybe Andrade next or Triple. You know, I mean, you should get a bigger fight. But I mean, this is a good test for him, and it's not going to be easy.
I can't. See, the thing is, I can't call Rosado a test for him because he's already been a champion. He's been a champion. He's had 5 or 6 title defenses before he moved up. Like he could easily make a fight with Andre, and he can make a fight with Charlo. He's their mandatories. So it's like a
160, right? This is catch weight. This is 160.
What's that?
This is 160, right? There's no catch weight or anything.
No, it's 160 fight. So, and the funny thing is too is Rosado fought Beck the Bully at 168. So it's like, but Rosado has been known he does go up and down. Although he does go up and down. He does go up and down between the two divisions, and I think he did it for 154 on one occasion. So it's just like, to me, it's just like, I mean, Rosado should be fighting someone else. I mean, I'd rather have him, you know, put in with a younger prospect at least to see, you know, build a little momentum or something like that.
See, but the thing is, Munguia, he's been a champion, but he's kind of like, I won't say a prospect, he's been a champion, but it's just like, you know, we can't tell if he's ready or not.
He should be ready. That's the problem. He's not. That's his fault. He's not taking these fights. I don't know what him and Oscar are doing. Like, you know,
Rosado's earned this fight, so I'm not gonna complain.
So it's like, I mean,
he earned it, but don't mean we need it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah,
I think it's gonna be a good fight though. I think it's gonna be a surprisingly, you know, I think it's gonna be a good fight.
I'd rather they gave him the Andre fight. At least he earned the title fight. You earn a big fight against a nigga who's not even trying to fight for a title. What kind of shit is that?
Winner fights Andrade. Winner fights Boo Boo. That'd be good.
Yeah,
but they'll fucking get out of that somehow, because isn't Munguia supposed to fight like Derevyanchenko after this?
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, Munguia's already a man. Munguia can easily.
That's what makes it so fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's like there's no reason. Like, Munguia was a 154 champion at WBO. When Usyk was WBO cruiserweight champion and he moved up, he triggered his WBO rule like he could, because he was undefeated WBO champion and was able to maneuver himself to a heavyweight title shot and become heavyweight champion. Munguia should have been made this move against Andre, who is more than willing to take this fight, and it can be easily made. So that's my whole beef. No, if you want to take one middleweight fight, so be it. He took Gary O'Sullivan when he moved up. Fine, you know. Then he fought Toriano Johnson. Fine, but then he fought the guy that Triple G knocked out his last in Zarameta, and after then it's just like, you know, what
it was getting put hands on too.
Yeah. So it's like,
he made it look way better than what he was, because we don't remember him doing much of anything against Golovkin, but Munguia, he's damn near almost a fight broke out.
Exactly, you know, it's just like, it's just like what is Munguia doing with his career? It's like, is Munguia just afraid to be great? It's like he doesn't want it because Munguia stylistically can cause problems for Andre. Like his offensive game has improved a lot. He can call it, and I don't understand why he won't take the fight. That should be it. That should be the next fight. So the fact that this is, that he's fighting Rosado, and now if Rosado beats him, then he starts to go back to the drawing board, and it's just like, well, that's what happened. Like, you can't be like it's like because you gamble too much. Apparently, eventually it won't roll in your favor. So what are we thinking in terms of how this is gonna go? LB, what about you? So how do you think this is? So what are we thinking in terms of predictions?
For the sake of the sport, Munguia needs to stop, dude. I think he will, but I think it'll be like maybe 10 for 11th round. I think Rosado's gonna hang tough with him, but I don't think Rosado can't treat this like the Beck the Bully fight. I don't think he could hurt Munguia like that, and I don't think he's gonna catch Munguia clean like that where he could just knock him out with one punch. Like, that was a good win to get this fight along with the Jacobs robbery, but it's just Munguia hits too hard, it's too physical, he jabs a lot better, he runs combinations better, and when if you start getting him into a war, he gets back to setting shit up with the jab, and then he kind of just lets you have it. So don't get me wrong, Rosado could win this, but I just don't see it. I could be wrong though, and I be picking upsets, but I don't think he has enough to really like hold off Munguia like that. Like he ain't really have enough to hold off Jacobs. It's just the boxing is what beat Jacobs, and Jacobs just kind of just act like he'd rather be with Angela Simmons than in that ring.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So, a lot of factors. Even with the Beck the Bully fight, like Beck, he didn't look like he trained too serious for that fight. He was looking a little Benavida-ish.
Yeah, because most people, because the knockout was so spectacular, but Rosado did get knocked down in the fight, and he probably was probably on his way to getting stopped, very soon.
And that's the thing, when you set somebody up, you got to take the good with the bad, just like how Canelo set up Plant. Canelo had to get outboxed and adjust, but he knew what was going to happen. He was in control in a sense of like, yeah, I may be losing some rounds here, but I know how this is going to end.
Right.
Same thing with Rosado. Like, he knew he was setting back up, but he still had to take the punishment. He wasn't taking out boxing. It's different to lose some rounds getting outboxed than to be getting your ass whooped and dropped.
Right.
But if you're trying to set somebody up for something, you gotta just weather it. I just don't think he could weather what Munguia could do. Like, if he was a little fresher, maybe he could do the Dennis Hogan approach, but I think Munguia's a better fighter now than he was when he fought Hogan. So Munguia, 10th round TKO.
Word. AOP, what about you?
Munguia gets him out of there in 7. I don't even think it'll last as long as 10, 11. No. Get him out of there in 7.
You said 6?
I think
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't think he'll be able to hang in there. I mean, he'll try to hang in there with Munguia, but I think Munguia should be, hit him a lot, pressure him, bully him, get him out of there. So, I don't know. I feel like Rosado's going to come back down to earth. Nice little run, but he'll come back to earth.
I know we always say that for Rosado, and like I said, dude just always manages to extend his 15 minutes. Honestly, Rosado hasn't been KO'd since 2014, and he's had fights where he's pretty much been on the brink of having his career ended. But somehow he always makes he always makes some sort of comeback. You know, that's just the story of his career post Triple G fight. So it's, you know, but yeah, it's just like he's not a fresh guy, so it's gonna be like, you know, there's only so many times that he can actually go back to the well and have all these, you know, surprising upsets and wins and stuff. And Munguia, and I think Munguia will definitely get him out of there. I'm thinking probably, honestly, I'm thinking probably 7-2. P. I don't think it's gonna go down that way. I think Rosado is a tough guy, but he's not gonna eat all them. He's not gonna eat them shots like he used to. You know, I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for Beck the Bully running into a right hand, into a perfectly set up right hand, we probably wouldn't even be talking about this fight. We might, Munguia probably wouldn't fight Beck the Bully. He'd be like, okay, well, I gotta find somebody else now, less of the fight. But to me, it's just like I just shake my head because of how much enthusiasm that Munguia had for wanting to fight Rosado more than an actual champion. But I'm gonna treat it how I'm gonna treat it, and like, you know what, this is going to be, you know, a 7-round stoppage. And Pilot, what about you? How do you think this fight will go?
Got him mulling over 6 and 8, so I think I'm gonna say around 8 for Munguia. I mean, all y'all pretty much said it, so I say Munguia will get him out of 8.
Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like pretty much anything else. And, you know, I'll definitely officially say that Munguia is spoiling on the vine. For sure, for damn sure. Like, Beck the Bully can lose to Rosado right now. I don't mind that. That's how it's supposed to go. You know, like I say, so he only has 7 fights, but yeah, Munguia, like, if you're undefeated, you have these wins over former champions and stuff like that, and then you're losing to someone like Rosado, you know, when you could have had a title shot, then that's on you, brother. You moved fucking wrong. So, well, I mean, we'll see. But at least this, I mean, it's good that, I mean, now, of course, this is November, so we don't know per se what the future of Golden Boy and DAZN is actually going to be just yet officially. You know, there's rumblings that they're not resigning on DAZN, and we don't know if they're going to Triller, which all of us really, you know, think it's a huge mistake if that's the case, you know. But I mean, at least they have an undercard. At least that's interesting. You know, William Cepeda in the opener. They got Demetrius Ballard and Alexis Rocha. You know, they have a lot of their contenders. And like I said, we said before, Golden Boy makes the undercards that you can actually watch from beginning to end, because for the most part they are evenly matched, and like I said, a lot of them are fades, like real fades on them. So it's like, so it should be a good night of boxing for them. We hope, like I said, we just gotta hope that Munguia doesn't get, like I said, you know, truthfully, if Munguia loses, then it'll be the shakeup that middleweight needs. You know, it'll just be like, yeah, so something that someone else will.
Well, the scorecards reflect that, though. Rosado would have to knock him out, because fucking remember the Hogan loss. The Hogan fight was one of the biggest robberies of that year. That was an easy 116, 112 type of fight. Easy.
Yeah, honestly, I know that they blamed the weight cut. And that's probably one of the reasons why he moved up. But Munguia could not hurt Dennis Hogan for anything, and Hogan had him moonwalking off shots. Like, it was that hurt Hogan's career. I hate seeing shit like that, because dude deserved the right to be called a former champion. Right. You know, like he won that fight. Like, Golden Boy fucked them so badly. It wasn't even.
I think that's the fight that got them scared of them enforcing the Andre fight.
Yeah, and the funny thing is,
how many people you gonna beat up like this before you say, you know what, I gotta fight for a title?
And the funny thing is too, is Hogan doesn't really fight anything like Andre, but it's just the fact that Hogan somehow found the chin and the stamina to hang.
Well, I mean, he was boxing, but his boxing ain't gonna look like Andre's boxing. But he was boxing dude up. It's just he was throwing combinations with it, and like you said, like he found the easy target and he let his hands go. Like that's what a lot of people forget sometimes when they come to boxing. They just do the bare minimum boxing, but sometimes when you get a guy with defense so leaky, you can't help the damn like fuck it, let me throw some more hands at you.
Yeah. Facts.
But honestly, that's the mentality you need to have though, because you never know what the scorecards are looking like. You never know, and you also want to pile up punishment on a guy. You know, that's what Plant did wrong. Like the type of shots, even though he was landing them, like if you don't put punishment on a guy, like, you know, throwing the hardest shots you can, then, you know, you don't discourage anybody. You don't make them think twice. And at least fucking Hogan did that. That's what made the robbery so bad, because he did everything you're supposed to do and he still ain't get it. So,
right, yeah. No,
Munguia might get some bad karma from that though. It ain't happened yet, but who knows?
You know, exactly. And if it happened against Rosado, then it's just like, hey, then Rosado, of course, will probably get a title shot if Rosado wins. I'm pretty sure, you know, Andre will probably fight him or something like that. He'll probably have something. So Munguia he shouldn't be a question mark even after the breakup performance against Saddam Ali, but that's what he is right now. You know, so we'll definitely have to see next week. I believe it's at 9:00 that fight.
Say what? Boxing at 9? No way.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's not at 10 o'clock, not 10:30, not 11 o'clock.
Yeah. That's one thing about the zone. There's no such thing as a late ass card on that platform. None. They're either early afternoon or regular early evening, and that's how it's supposed to be. But let me not get on my soapbox about that.